AEW Dynamite saw one of the best performances from Ricochet and Sammy Guevara. A banger of a one-on-one contest on an otherwise very odd episode of Dynamite. I'm still sitting on it. I don't know what they were trying to accomplish here. And I'm not saying it was all bad. I wouldn't even say the show was bad, per se. It was just odd. Like, where do I even begin? I guess we'll start with the main event. They were doing this gauntlet match, this casino gauntlet match, a concept that Tony Khan just loves to do. And let's be real, he's overdoing it now. Hopefully after this particular gauntlet match, we ease up on it and we do less of it. Also, the same person won basically all the matches except the one at All In. Regardless, it was to reintroduce and introduce tag teams to the AEW audience. And I was cool with the idea of reminding fans, hey, we do have a tag team division. Here are all our tag teams, and get used to seeing them more on AEW television, right? And as the match was going on, those of you who don't watch the show, a casino gauntlet match is essentially one team comes out and then another follows, and then another follows, and then another, and then another, and then another, until someone gets a pinfall. All these tag teams that we saw, by the way, no private party. They were showcased earlier in the night, but they were not showcased in this match. Why? I don't know. Weird decision. Also, no Dark Order, who was also shown earlier tonight, but they were not showcased in the match. What? Okay, whatever. I guess those are nitpicks, but whatever. So all these tag teams that we saw tonight, and we go with Will Ospreay and Kyle Fletcher. Now, before you get on me, yes, I am aware they were the United Empire. Right? The United Empire from New Japan Pro Wrestling. Before Aussie Open came here, they were in a, I guess, stable with Will Ospreay. Okay, I mean, I'm not going to sit here and act like they're not, I guess, worthy of being in a tag team, or there isn't history there. I understand what's happening here. But I also go, why these guys? We already have established tag teams. Matter of fact, one of your established tag teams, the Acclaimed, is already in a feud with the Young Bucks. They have yet to get their one-on-one, literal tag team championship match without anybody getting involved. When is the Acclaim just going to have a regular tag match for those tag team titles? Because every time they get them, there's always FTR involved, there's always someone involved. I'm still waiting on the Acclaim to get their fair tag team title shot against the Young Bucks. And I thought they were going to get it from this match, but no. Instead, we're going with Will Ospreay and Kyle Fletcher. And my problem with that is, this is their first time teaming up on AEW television. Have they teamed up before in New Japan Pro Wrestling or other companies? Sure, I haven't seen it, but this is their first time teaming up. I would have rathered you at least go a couple of months with them doing tag team matches to establish their relationship, to build their tag team, build up their the familiarity. I can't find the right word for it. Get used to being in a tag team. The fans get used to them as a tag team. Establish them as a tag team. And then send them out to the tag team titles. But you threw them together, although they're friends, you still threw them together. And then you gave them the match. And so now we're doing Will Ospreay and Kyle Fletcher versus the Young Bucks at Grand Slam. I don't understand that. That's an odd decision. Very odd decision. Is the match going to be good? Oh my goodness. You know what? This is getting annoying for me because every time I try to get at the core problem of things, what do the AEW fans always say? The match will be good. Guys, yes, that's a given. But once again, you're not facing Vince McMahon anymore. We have to keep reminding you of that as well. Good matches ain't gonna do it. AEW needs to understand you need stories, you need characters, you need reasons to care. And although I'm seeing remnants of long-term storytelling here, which I'm going to be talking about in a second, because other segments are, or at least keeping my intrigue, or keeping my interest. There's a lot of things in this show that are just weird. It's weird, and that's one of them. Okay, so are we just not going to finish up the Acclaimed and the Young Bucks? Is the Acclaimed just not going to get their tag team title shot? I mean, Will Ospreay and Kyle Fletcher aren't winning. I would think not. They're not going to win those tag team titles at Grand Slam, are they? Because I have a feeling they might be. I just have this feeling they might actually be winning those tag team titles, while Will Ospreay is also the international champion. Anyways, odd choice. All the tag teams we saw, you go with the one that's not really established yet. Speaking of odd, what is up with this feud between Chris Jericho and Orange Cassidy? Why are we revisiting this? Who asked to revisit Orange Cassidy and Chris Jericho? Seriously, who wants to see this again? We got Chris Jericho stealing Orange Cassidy's backpack. He reached in his backpack to pull out a picture of all his former friends, Chris, and of course, Trent Beretta and his former best friend, the guy who can't wrestle no more. I'm sitting here going, is there a reason why we're doing this? Who is this supposed to get over? Who is this supposed to establish? You would think after Chris Jericho lost to him once, he wouldn't need to go back to it. Chuck Taylor, by the way. Thank you. Chuck Taylor. And then during the segment, when Chris Jericho was showing the picture, he's complaining about this jacket that got orange juice poured over it. $7,000 worth. Is this really the premise of your feud? And then we go backstage to see Orange Cassidy dumping quarters, well, coins, pennies, nickels, dimes, quarters, onto Chris Jericho's car. And I'm sitting here like, was that supposed to be funny? What is happening here? Who is this supposed to entertain? But okay, we're doing Jericho and Orange Cassidy again for no reason other than to do it. And then more odd stuff happened. So, because of the attack on Saturday, felt like Sunday, All Out, Bryan Danielson was out, is out indefinitely. That's what they said. He's out indefinitely. We don't know when he'll be back. Storyline-wise, clearly. And as a result of him being out, Darby Allin's championship match got canceled. So he won't be competing for the title, although he earned it. And so he's putting that world championship opportunity up now against Jon Moxley at Grand Slam. And we're just assuming that Bryan's not going to be there. And then later on, Nigel McGuinness comes out and challenges Bryan Danielson to a championship match. Huh? So the Darby Allin didn't need to give up his title shot? Like, that's weird. That's odd, guys. You can't just do... Clearly, Tony Khan changed his mind. He changed his mind. A month ago, he wanted to do Darby Allin and Bryan Danielson, and then somewhere after All In, he decided, yeah, let's not do that match. Let's do Darby, Moxley, and then Bryan and Nigel. That was such a weird switch up. Now, am I excited that I'm getting Nigel McGuinness and Bryan Danielson? Yes, I'm even excited that we're getting Darby and Moxley again. I think that's going to be an awesome match. I'm not scoffing at those matches. How we got there was just odd. That was just a weird switch up. Very weird switch up. And it made no sense the more you think about it. It still doesn't make any sense. Just odd things happening on the show. And it just goes to show you, like, once again, AEW might be the kings at pay-per-view, but their weekly shows are not great. And they consistently show me that someone needs to be helping Tony Khan when it comes to these weekly shows. Because there are some things to like about them, but there are way too many things that just don't make any sense. The follow-up to these pay-per-views are just not all that great, or at least what they need to be. They're not. With that said, there are some good things about this show. Yes. I do like what they're doing with this outsiders storyline, because I can't find another word for it, but it reminds me of Kevin Nash and Scott Hall coming into WCW. Again, talking about, we're here to take over. And that's what Jon Moxley, excuse me. I was going to sneeze there. We're good. Jon Moxley, Claudio Castagnoli, and Marina Shafir are doing. They're the outsiders. For who? Probably Shane McMahon. Definitely Shane McMahon. At this point, it wouldn't make any sense if it wasn't Shane McMahon. It better be Shane McMahon. It has to be Shane McMahon at this point. Otherwise, what are we doing here? So, okay, so Shane's coming in to take over AEW, and these guys are his arbiters, I guess. We'll figure that out. But yeah, I'm intrigued. I'm at least interested in this story, and I think the promos for it have my attention. What they're doing with Mariah May and apparently Mina Shirakawa, I guess they're getting ready to have a championship celebration, one that Eric Bischoff would love. Wink, wink. Yes, she's going to turn on Mina. We see that coming from a mile away. I think that doesn't matter, though. What I'm interested in is what they're going to be doing before she turns on Mina. And this leads to Toni Storm and, of course, Mariah having another match, which I'm assuming is going to happen at WrestleDream-ish? Maybe? I don't know. We'll see where that one goes. I'm going off the top of my dome. Christian Cage came out to basically talk about him potentially in the future cashing in his contract. So, clearly setting up a Luchasaurus babyface turn, which is going to happen. You want that to be a focal point of your show, because you need to have that in the back of your head that Christian could at one point cash in on Bryan. Could happen at Grand Slam. Probably will. We'll see. I thought Lio Rush versus Jack Perry was a good match, but clearly the highlight of the night, the best thing about this show, without question, was Ricochet versus Sammy Guevara. Banger of a match. One of those matches that made me go, see, this is why I watch AEW. This is why I deal with all the bullshit. The rest of this shit happening on your show, it's irritating, but I'll stick around for Ricochet and Sammy Guevara. And whatever match you're going to have at Ricochet. This is so much better than his match with Kyle Fletcher. That debut match with Kyle was not it. But this was it. This was a great, not even great, fantastic showcase of Ricochet. And maybe it's just finding him the right opponents. And if that's the case, give him Dante Martin. Give him Buddy Matthews. Give him Lio Rush. You're going to do him and Will Ospreay at some point. It's not happening at Grand Slam. Thank you, by the way. I kind of figured it was a little too soon. A little too soon to be doing Ricochet and Will Ospreay. But they're holding it off for pay-per-view. If you can, resist giving it to us until Full Gear. I know that's a ways off. If you tell the right story and you give Ricochet a feud in between, because apparently Kyle Fletcher and Will Ospreay are going to be a tag team, for the time being, so screw it. Screw it. Might as well. Yeah, might as well. Give him a feud before we get to Will Ospreay and Ricochet. Yeah, I think this is exactly what Ricochet needs. He needs to pick up some wins and have great matches. You got plenty of opponents that can give him the match that we saw tonight on the same level. So just keep having him showcase to the world why this man should have been given a lot more opportunities in WWE. And I think when we finally get Ricochet and Will Ospreay, it's going to be amazing. Just like it will be if we get Okada and Konosuke Takeshita. That was teased tonight. It was teased at All Out. The fans want to see it? Give it to us. When they do it, I have no idea. I think also it's too soon to do that match at Grand Slam. I think you would save that match again for WrestleDream and or Full Gear. Hell, they might have Konosuke Takeshita compete in the tournament, win the tournament, and then end up, I guess, fighting Okada. See, I don't know how this works. So, when the tournament starts in December, does Okada lose the belt? And he has to win the tournament again to get the belt back? Or, I don't know. It's going to be weird. We'll see what they do there. But yeah, we got some good things happening. It's just, I don't know. And I didn't talk about this yet because I don't know how I feel about it. I don't know if I like it, but I guess I'll talk about it now. Hangman Page was on the show tonight. And I love the setup of him talking about the man he's become due to Swerve Strickland's actions. He wants to hurt everybody that got in his way from getting his revenge on Swerve Strickland. So now the hatred and the lust for revenge has consumed him. It's like when Superman killed Joker in Injustice. It consumed him, and he was forever corrupted. He was forever broken. Hangman Page is forever broken. He's a monster. He is the monster that Swerve Strickland made him into, and he loves being it. And so now he's using this excuse of, well, you guys got in my way of Swerve Strickland, now I want to hurt you. And I like that. And so I'm thinking, okay, what are we doing with that? Jeff Jarrett. Look, guys. I get it. You like Jeff Jarrett. In all honesty, I'm not really bothered by him in terms of his status in wrestling. People see him as a legend. Sweet, I get it. I just have to wonder, like, really? In 2024, Jeff Jarrett, Hangman Page and Jeff Jarrett, why? That's what we do after that awesome, outstanding lights out match this past Saturday. Capping off one of the best feuds, if not the best feud in AEW history. For now, I have a feeling we might get back to it. The first thing you do after that is have him fight Jeff Jarrett. Like, who does this? Who does this appeal to? Again, I say this as a fan that knows AEW is struggling to appeal to a massive audience. It's struggling to grow their presence among wrestling fans. People are watching this less and less and less and less. I'm trying to figure out what about this show, outside of potentially what they're doing with Moxley, Castagnoli, Pac, Bryan, and then what's getting ready to happen with Shane McMahon coming in. Outside of that, what about this show appeals to a massive audience? This just feels like one of those shows, once again, that's geared to an audience of one. Like, this is only a show that Tony Khan likes, where I'm like, dude, like, who are you trying to appeal to? And people are saying it right now. The problem with Hangman Page versus Jeff Jarrett, number one, you know Jeff Jarrett's not going to beat Hangman Page, so why get invested? Number one. But also, number two, like, what? Why Jeff Jarrett? You could have gone after anybody else who's associated with Swerve. It just feels like a show filled with people that Tony Khan likes and Tony Khan is booking, instead of gauging who really appeals to the crowd. Gauging who is going to actually make fans when it come out, pay tickets to come see your shows. They had under 3,000 people tonight in that arena, and it sounded like it. It wasn't a lot of people tonight for Dynamite. And I'm sick of that. Is anyone just sick and tired of AEW continuing to shoot themselves in the foot weekly when it comes to failing to draw interest for their shows? But no, it's okay. The pay-per-views will be banger. Yes, I'm without question expecting WrestleDream, Full Gear, World's End to be excellent shows. But those, first off, we ain't gonna get another pay-per-view until, what is that, 6 weeks? Somewhere between 5 or 6 weeks. We got a while before WrestleDream. And in 2 weeks, we got Grand Slam. So at some point, I'm going to need them to pick up. They're going to need to pick this stuff up. They're going to need to do a better job of getting us to care about what's happening on TV. But yeah, it just felt like a very odd show. And maybe as I actually get into the review, and I specifically talk about these segments, I can explain to you why I thought overall, despite some great things happening on Dynamite tonight, Sammy Guevara, Ricochet being one of them, I just came out of this show going, that's what we're doing? Okay. It's not my show, but I don't know who's going to be tuning in other than the people you already got. The sickos, right? That. Again, Tony called you the sickos, so I'm calling you a sicko. So give me your thoughts. Give me your grades. Give me your scores. How we feeling about Dynamite? Overall, AEW? Let's just go ahead and get to it, I guess. We're going to do the sponsorship. We're going to do the plugs, shout-outs. And then we'll do some wrestling news. It's only one topic. We're not going to be stuck on wrestling news for too long. And then we'll go ahead and get into the review. So, if this is the first time you're watching me, do me a solid favor. Like the video, subscribe, and click that bell to catch all my content when it comes out. Wow, your edits help expand the brand by doing the following things. Join the membership. Click that join button and get the opportunity to request a video of your choosing. Whether it's a live reaction, a hot topic, or a review, past, present, or future. Also, don't forget to give thanks. Hit that super thanks. If you would like to donate after the fact, you can. Also, like me on Facebook, follow me on Twitter, just Alex Central. Give me a follow on Instagram, give me a follow on Spotify, give me a follow on Cameo, give me a follow on Threads. Follow us on Discord. Keep the conversation going on Discord, but most importantly, give us a follow on TikTok, where I am the Techest. I'm the Talkist. Donate using PayPal, Patreon, Cash App, Venmo, and yes, Super Chats are officially on you. You can donate at any point in time during the broadcast to get your thoughts played live on the air. Email me at justalexsworld@gmail.com for business inquiries just to say hi. And get yourself a t-shirt today at Pro Wrestling Tees and Teespring. Are you a Just Alex guy? Then join the club. Become a Just Alex guy by getting the t-shirt. High off the press. Also, get you an old school Deluxe Man t-shirt. Get you a new school Alex as well t-shirt. And many more t-shirt designs coming your way. Right here in Alex's World. Thank you to Ekster Wallet for being the sponsors of this lovely broadcast. Get you an Ekster Wallet today, because they are here to change the way you carry your items one day at a time. Something sleek, something minimalistic, something cool for the ladies. Something small, carryable, with a tracker in case you lose it. I'm just throwing all these words at you. I'm going to let the big boys do what they usually do. So let's get a quick word from our sponsor, and then we'll get to some shout-outs. Today's video is sponsored by Ekster. In today's age, old leather wallets are a thing of the past. People are looking for something more efficient. That's where Ekster comes in. It can fit in your front pocket or any other space convenient for your access. It is the perfect smart wallet for minimalists that only carry essential items such as credit cards and IDs. It also has a cool pop-up feature that allows you to see what's inside, so you always know what you're getting out. Plus, it comes with its own tracker that connects with your phone, so if you ever misplace it, you can instantly find it. Amazing designs, amazing features, all at amazing prices. And today, if you click the link down below and use the promo code JUSTALEX, you can get 30% off any purchase you make. I truly believe this is a great gift, and it's changing the way people carry their items. So don't hesitate. Use the link below and get you a wallet today. Alright, thank you all so much for being here for this lovely broadcast. As always, show your love to the Mod Squad, Ultra, Shine Nice and First Heart, Elias, a Demon, New Japan Pro Wrestling Girl, Khalil does everything. Highway Dealing, a Danger, and of course Big MGM, because they help keep this a safe space for wrestling fans like you and like us. It is imperative that you guys hit that like button, because the more you like the video, the more opportunities I will be given to be recommended here on YouTube. So help boost that algorithm by hitting that like button. Shout outs, who we got here? As always, I see Who Let the Dogs Out? Ooh, JJ Bulldog. Good to have you here, sir. From Browntown, Mr. Robert Brown. Daniel Berry Sports Highlights. Joseph Winters. We also got Ryan B. What's good, Ryan? Does anyone still want to see the Acclaimed? I'm not a big fan of them, to be honest. The scissor thing with Billy Gunn got them over, but I think it got stale pretty quickly. I don't even think it's a matter of do people want to see them or not. I think it's a matter of this is the story you're telling. Finish your story. Simple as that. Juan Roscoe Higurashi. We got the 6 Horror King man. Says here, Mox's answer was dumb, so he been calling him out to ask for his spot. Man, I don't know. If I start to think about it, it's just going to irritate me, but okay. SD Kai, good to have you here. He says he regrets watching the Jericho segment. That was so stupid. Oh my god. I just cringe every time I see it. It just makes me... It literally, and I don't like saying this, because usually I don't feel this way, but it's how I feel now. Chris Jericho's segments literally make me want to change the channel. They do. TY1822. Joe Wright says a wild slap nuts appears. Aaron Teagle. Minako 42 in his house. YouTube member Xavier Jackson. Good to have you here, Xavier. And the last one's going to John Beal II. Y'all, listen. I don't want to be here any longer than I have to. So let's go ahead and just move things along. I'm not turning off Super Chat, so if you have a Super Chat you want to give me, just go ahead and donate. We'll let it play. But let me just get to this piece of wrestling news. And this comes straight from the desk of Fightful Select. Hot off the press. The Hurt Syndicate. Who? The Hurt Business. That's their indie name, because they can't use the Hurt Business. That's a WWE owned name. But MVP Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin have reportedly been in talks to come and work for AEW. Says here, AEW has had discussions with Bobby Lashley, MVP, and Shelton Benjamin for a potential run in the company, but no deal is done or imminent at this time. There you go. That's the report. The Hurt Business, or the Hurt Syndicate, will be coming to AEW. I think it's a lock. Without question. If Bobby Lashley wants to continue wrestling, which he has said, there's no other place for him to go. He ain't going to TNA. He ain't going to New Japan Pro Wrestling. He's coming to AEW. And yes, Tony will sign him. This whole idea of, well, a deal is not locked. They're coming in. They're going to come in. What are they going to do? I don't know. Maybe they're going to join Shane McMahon's AEW. Quite frankly, at this point, why not? They can be a part of Shane McMahon's AEW, and he can be Shane McMahon's guy. I guess. Whatever they want to do here. But yeah, clearly, this is going to be a revamp of the Hurt Business. They're going to try to make it work with AEW. Listen, I'm just glad MVP, Bobby, and Shelton will have a place to work. Let's see what they do with it. I thought Cedric was a big part of why that Hurt Business worked. Cedric is not leaving WWE. He has resigned. So that's going to be kind of weird to see him without the Hurt Business, because I'm so used to seeing those four together, or seeing those four work together. I also have to wonder, like, MVP, is he going to be wrestling, or is he just going to be like a legit manager? Because that's what WWE was using him for, as a manager. And if that's the case, is Bobby and Shelton going to be a tag team? Something to think about. I'm cool with that too. But I would suspect that if they're bringing in Bobby Lashley, that's also a main event player. Quite frankly, so is Shelton Benjamin. Shelton Benjamin is also a main event player. What they do with them, we'll have to see. We'll have to see. Someone just said it. You can add in Lio Rush to the group. You can make that work. Lio Rush and the Hurt Business. The Hurt Syndicate. I don't know. It's just one of those things where I'm excited that they're getting a chance to work. I don't know if this will work as well as it would have worked in WWE. I think a Hurt Business reunion in the WWE would have been huge. Huge. But unfortunately, it's not going to happen, and it can't happen now because they're not in WWE. So in AEW, you're like, great, but how far can this go? Do I see a Bobby Lashley at this point in time winning that world title? No, I don't really. If anything else, I don't see anybody beating Bryan Danielson until Kenny Omega comes back. When Kenny Omega comes back, and after Bryan and Kenny have a match, then all bets are off. We can give the belt to whoever. But, man, I don't know. We'll see. I'm hoping for the best. I'm glad they have a place to work. And I do want to see him on my TV set. I just don't have faith that the Hurt Syndicate would work as well as it did in WWE. As it probably won't in AEW. And that's fine. I could be wrong, and I hope I'm wrong. So give me your thoughts about Bobby who? Well, Bobby Lashley coming to AEW with Shelton, Benjamin, and MVP. And I'm sorry, I don't trust Tony Khan can book these guys to their full potential. But we'll see. We will definitely see. I look at tonight's show and I go, well, I have a reason not to trust him, quite frankly. All right, let's just get to it. Dynamite was in Lexington, Kentucky. What? Under 3,000, 2,000, 2,500? Wasn't a big crowd, but they were into the show, so I guess it was fine. It's just sad seeing AEW go to these big arenas and not pack it out. I liked the cinematic promo they had with Jon Moxley to open the show. He tells Bryan Danielson that he doesn't have the stomach for this anymore. And 2 years ago, they made a commitment to build something real, something tangible, that would last years and years. Long after they're gone, an idea couldn't be destroyed or subjugated. Not for the money or recognition, but because it wasn't worth doing. He looks around and all he sees is egos, out of control, everywhere he looks. Permeating AEW, and he can't take it anymore. What alone moves the wheels of history And their mentor called Bryan Danielson the perfect wrestler. But William Regal saw him, as in William Regal saw himself in Moxley more. And they can't pretend otherwise. He says he's not a villain. Try that again. He says he's not a villain and he's no hero. But he knows why. What got him here. He's the one true king of these lands. Diplomacy has failed. And today, he chooses war. War. Who? Yeah. What is it good for? Absolutely. And then we see Darby Allin skating in. So, again, I like that cinematic promo. And I think, man, this barely leads to Shane McMahon coming in. But when Shane comes in, I think this is going to be one of the things that drives interest for AEW. I would think. So, Christian Cage came out, cuts his promo. We get Luchasaurus chants. Luchasaurus. Right? They want to see him turn on Christian, and that's what's going to happen, apparently. Christian comes out, basically says he's gunning for that world title match. And he's going to cash in. He's going to be a true champion for the ages. Cool. I'm not against it. That's fine. Called Luchasaurus a monster, a wrecking ball, a killer. He'll beat Bryan Danielson so bad he'll wish his wife had CTE so she wouldn't know what a disappointment he is. And on that note, we're moving on. Jesus Christ almighty. Renee Paquette interviews Don Callis backstage. Don Callis, hey, Will, you owe me a favor. Tag team with Kyle Fletcher and win us the tag team titles. Okay. He just said, okay, I guess we're doing it. Weird, but alright. Jack Perry versus Lio Rush. Match was really good. Lio Rush is one of the best performers AEW has. He's one of the best in-ring performers in the world today. He's always been. Tony Khan needs to showcase him as much as possible. Not just in tag matches, but singles matches. We need to get Lio Rush on our TV sets all the time. Every week. This guy's amazing. He really is one of their best performers, and they need to use him like he is. And hopefully they will. This was a good match. Made Jack Perry look strong. Because again, this is one of those guys where Tony just it is one of those things where, at least with Jack Perry, you see it. You see the potential in Jack Perry. I just don't know if this current booking is going to maximize it. I've always thought Jack Perry was World Championship material. I'm just not a fan of his current booking, if that makes any sense. But he beats Lio Rush and then says something along the lines of, people crucify him in this life so he can be worshipped in the next. Okay, Raven. Quote the Raven, nevermore. And then we get that Hangman Page promo. Hangman Page is interviewed by Renee Paquette. He says if he had 1,000 houses that Shane, Swerve, Strickland called home, he would burn every single one of those houses. And he meant every word that he said and every drop of blood that he stole from him. People that saw it in person, make no mistake that he meant it, and now he speaks to everyone. If you got in his way, he coming for that ass. Pause. And so he starts walking around. He sees Top Flight. He walks into the Dark Order. And then he walks into Jeff Jarrett. And Jeff Jarrett is like, I've seen people like you go down this dark path. You're going to eat yourself alive. When it's all said and done, you're going to regret yourself, and you won't be able to look at yourself in the mirror. And Hangman Page whipped his ass. Look, I love this direction for Hangman Page. I love that he's essentially Superman from Injustice. A good soul corrupted by Swerve. And now that he's gone evil, he likes it. He enjoys it. He's broken. He's forever broken. And he enjoys being broken. And so now that we have this awesome character, I'm thinking, man, you could do so much with this. Honestly, I would have preferred he go back into a feud with the Dark Order. I think this would have been a great time to reintroduce the Dark Order. Man, this would have been a great time to go back to that. But instead, Jeff Jarrett. Jeff Jarrett. Again, if you see him as a legend, cool. But who's going to watch this? When I think about ratings, when I think about growing your audience, I don't think Jeff fucking Jarrett. Do you? Come on. Well, he's not going to beat Hangman. That's not the point. It's not the point. That actually hurts the feud because you know Jeff Jarrett is only there to be fodder for Hangman Page. Ain't no one going to watch this feud. Here's what they will watch. Ricochet versus Sammy Guevara. This match was awesome. This was the kind of match Ricochet needed to have on his debut. I don't know what the hell that match was with Kyle Fletcher. That match was booty cheeks. But this match with Sammy, fantastic. Outstanding. I miss Sammy. Yes, I know he tends to put his foot in his own ass a lot and in his mouth. I don't know if he does the ass first and the mouth. Okay, don't worry about that. Regardless, he tends to screw things up for himself. But Sammy, man, that guy's good. Sammy is, without question, one of AEW's best wrestlers. And tonight he reminded us of that. And when he was in there with Ricochet, I was quickly reminded of why I loved AEW. I'm like, this is why I love AEW. You had the crowd chanting flips forever. Yes, it was Spot Fest. Yes, it was a lot of flips. You know what? If you could do it right and make it look awesome, flip all you want. Flippity-dippity-doo down your ass to a fantastic match, and I will be there to watch it. I love this. Everything that Ricochet did, Sami Zayn answered back. You had a moonsault off the top of the stage. Great spot. And Ricochet came out looking like a beast. That man did a double hop, what was it, somersault? Off the barricade. Double springboard somersault on freaking Sammy Guevara. It was a lot more awesome than how I explained it, trust me. And then he wins with that. See, when he first hit this finisher on Kyle Fletcher, it didn't look all that great. It looked kind of weak. But when he hit it on Sammy, and then he dropped him, it's like he literally dropped him upside down in between his legs. It's a pile driver. Because at first it was a reverse DDT slam. And I was like, that's not a good finisher. It's kind of lame. But with Sammy, he hoisted him up and then he pile drove him. And I'm like, oh, see, that's it. He calls it vertical. That's an awesome finisher. I like that. When he picks him up and then sits down with him on his head. See, that's great. That's a good finisher. I like that. And so he pinned him with that. And I'm like, you know what? See, this is his wheelhouse. Find him opponents that can have this kind of match. Lio Rush, Dante Martin, Buddy Matthews. I already said Dante Martin. Who's the other one? The other Martin. Okay, you know what I'm talking about. Action Andrade. Oh my God. Who came out afterwards and attacked Sammy or attacked Ricochet? Beast Mordos? Is that his name? Beast Mordos? Hell yeah, that'd be a great match too. What's his name on Saturday? Glitch, Hologram. Glitch. Tron's little brother. Hologram. Yeah, do that. I would have loved to have seen him in Phoenix, but can't do that now because Phoenix and Pentagon are going to WWE. Yeah, man, like, you know what kind of opponent Ricochet works with? Do that. But yeah, it was good seeing Sammy. Can we get Sammy again? Like, why couldn't we do Sammy or someone? Why are we doing Hangman Page and Jeff Jarrett? No one wants to watch this shit. Okada meets Konosuke Takeshita backstage. He says it was easy to win that title. Don Callis rolls up, points at Okada and tells him, look, you didn't pin Konosuke. And then Okada says that Takeshita will be a champion, but not the Continental Champion. Walks out, comes back. Bitch. Love it! Love it! I love it when he does that. It's so good. Darby Allin comes out, and this is when Darby Allin does the face-to-face with, wait, is it? Or is it something else? Yeah, Darby Allin comes out, makes his entrance, gets on the microphone, and then he invites Moxley out. Moxley starts talking about how him and Darby are not different. Darby says he was influenced to become a wrestler because of Jon Moxley, because he's real, he's not corrupt, he loves the business, and now he feels like whatever's going on, he's become the one thing he hates, and now he doesn't like him, so what does he want? Well, because whatever Moxley wants, Moxley, whatever you want, I don't want it. I want nothing to do with you because it feels like you're a stooge now. And then Moxley goes, look, bud, Bryan's out. We took him out, so there will not be a world title match at Grand Slam, so give me your title shot opportunity. Just give me your title shot. Darby's like, bitch, I ain't giving you shit. What's wrong with you? Have you been drinking? He literally said that. Have you been drinking? Got a big pop from the crowd. And then he says, you want it? Do something about it. And so we got a match between Darby Allin and Jon Moxley. Okay. Again, I thought it was weird. It was super weird that they told us that Bryan Danielson was not able to compete for Grand Slam. And then literally later on in the night, just skipping ahead because I don't give a shit. It's so weird. You had Nigel McGuinness go out there and challenge Bryan Danielson to a world title match. And then Tony said, good idea. So you literally took away Darby Allin's title match and then gave it to Nigel McGuinness. Now, once again, am I happy that Nigel is fighting Bryan Danielson? Yes, I think that's the match that had to happen and needed to happen. But you couldn't have saved that for a pay-per-view? I mean, WrestleDream is literally 2 weeks away from Grand Slam. You couldn't have just done it there. But apparently, whatever this storyline is leading to, the storyline with Jon Moxley and his crew, it might be culminating at WrestleDream, and that's why it changed like that. But it was so weird and kind of fucked up that Darby earned that title match and you just took it away from him for no reason. You just took it away from him. Very weird. Not as weird as Commander and Private Party coming out for a trios match and then Moxley, Marina Shafir, Claudio, and Pac attacking them. That was weird. Pac says they've been very, very patient, but enough is enough. This company is broken. Broken! And what happened Saturday at All Out was inevitable. They are inevitable, a product of this festering environment. And as for him, he's been very lost for a very long time, but not anymore. Now he has purpose. Diplomacy has failed. We want war. War. Ooh. Yeah. What is it good for? Absolutely. Mariah May has a match against, who did she fight? Queen Aminata? Queen Aminata! Now, Queen Aminata, I don't know why I'm saying it like that. Queen Aminata is one of those female wrestlers you look at and you go, okay, why this bitch is not a champion, I will never know. She is so much better than a lot of these female talents. And I'm not just talking in AEW. Queen Aminata is literally better than 70% of the women's roster in WWE. Just look at her work. I'm not joking when I say this. She's one of the best female wrestlers today. And I don't necessarily like the fact that we're not pushing her like it. I get it. Toni Storm and Mariah May are involved in a feud, so I wasn't expecting her to win. But Queen Aminata should be winning a lot more matches than they're letting her win. This woman is really good. Every time I see her wrestle, I'm like, I feel like she should be the women's champion. But it'll happen eventually. I just kind of hope we understand how good this woman is. She's really, really good. But of course, Mariah May she's the main focus. She's the star. She has plot armor. And she ended up beating Queen Aminata. And then after the match, she says, something's missing. I can't have my championship celebration without Mina Shirakawa. And so she told, I want to see Mina, I guess, next week or at Grand Slam. And whatever this celebration is going to be, I'm thinking she turns on Mina. Right? Clearly she's going to turn on Mina. And then we get back to Tony Storm and Mariah. Sounds good to me. I don't want to talk about this. I don't want to talk about it. I hate it. The Iron Savages lost to the Learning Tree. Hi guys. Chris Jericho, Big Bill, and Brian Keith. They won their match. Afterwards, he pulls out his being Orange Cassidy's backpack. The backpack had the picture of the best friends, Chuck Taylor, Trent Beretta, Chris, and Orange. I miss him. He says, I miss him. I miss you. Essentially, he holds it in his backpack because he missed that friendship. And Chris Jericho's like, in this business, you don't have any friends. And if you think someone is your friend, he's just using you. And you see Big Bill look at him like, bitch, what? That was good. And then they go backstage. You see Orange Cassidy standing over Chris Jericho's Corvette, or his car. And you see the conglomeration, Mark Briscoe and Kyle Fletcher, driving a tractor. And you're like, oh, Lord, what they gonna pour on it? Is it cement? It was coins. He poured coins, the worth of $7,000 in coins onto the car. Yeah. It looked terrible. And Chris Jericho was sounding like, no, not my car. Nothing happened to it. The car just got coins poured in it. You're like, ooh, free money. Thank you. You just gave him all that free money for nothing. For a jacket that, again, I'm sorry. This feud between Chris Jericho and Orange Cassidy is nothing I want to see. No one asked for it. Who the fuck is asking for it? Who wants to see this shit? But we're getting Chris Jericho and Orange Cassidy again. God help us all. And what is it? The main event? Is it the main event? No, Hook challenged Roderick Strong for the FTW Championship. Why? Why isn't Hook going for Jack Perry's title? Seriously, why isn't Hook challenging Jack Perry for the TNT title? Get off of that FTW Championship. No one cares. The final match was that Casino Gauntlet Tag Team Battle Royale match when the winners fight the Young Bucks. And the following tag teams were in the match. We have FTR, that's Cash Wheeler and Dax Harwood. The Grizzled Young Vets, grit your teeth, soon to be tag team champs. We had Kyle Fletcher and Will Ospreay. We have the Eminem Collection, Mansoor and Mason Madden. You had the Acclaimed, Anthony Bowens, Max Caster. You had the Outrunners, who apparently are very popular. I just missed that train, because I was like, who are these guys and why do fans like them? And some people told me they were Ring of Honor workers. I'm like, okay, I get that, but why do you like them? What about them is, what's the thing? And they're saying because they're into their gimmick. They're selling their gimmick so well. They believe that they're from the 80s. And I'm like, oh, so it's a nostalgia throwback gimmick. Looking like bootlegged Hulk Hogan's, right? Okay. We have The Righteous, Dutch and Vincent, got no pop. Top Flight, good to have those boys back in the fold. The Undisputed Kingdom, Matt Taven and Mike Bennett. Is that it? Again, no Dark Order and no Private Party. Weird, but they were on the show, so I guess they were featured. Sure. The match was chaotic. A lot of stuff happened. Will Ospreay and Kyle Fletcher win. Again, I don't get that. You have all these tag teams that were already established. Can you at least give Will Ospreay and Kyle Fletcher some wins before you have them go after the tag team titles? Very weird. Whatever. They're not going to win. I know that, but it's just, it is one of those things where you look at that and go, that's what we're going with? All these other tag teams, and that's what we go with. Again, this episode was odd. AEW's weekly shows are just not it. They're not good. They're not good. Was this show better than other shows in the past? Because of Ricochet and Sammy Guevara, yes. But for the most part, it's a weird show where stuff just kind of happens and you go, all right, whatever. So, there's my review. Y'all give me your thoughts. What y'all in here saying? Because I don't want to be up here any longer than I want to talking about a show that's dookie. Now, let me see here. What y'all in here saying? Wanda Roscoe says, today's AEW was promo storyline centric and less matches. I like it. They had a lot of matches, though. I think I counted like 5 matches on the show. Lio Rush. You know, it was about 5 matches. I mean, sure. You had more promos, which I like, and I appreciate that. And honestly, those were the best parts of the show. But, yeah, I don't... Sure. The Acclaim should just turn heel at this point. At this point, yeah, it's not. It's not really even a matter of should they. They probably will. The 3 gauntlet matches were all won by Ospreay, except for the one at All In. Yes. All the Dynamite Casino Gauntlet matches were won by Ospreay. Jesus Christ. TK doesn't know what he's doing anymore. That was very apparent. That's been apparent since the CM Punk airing. Since the CM Punk footage airing. I was just like, dude, you are gone. Apparently, AEW is re-signing with WBD. Well, duh, we know that. And AEW Shockwave will air on Fox. Wait, wait a minute. Time out. They're premiering another show? Is that official? Or is that rumor? I don't want to be talking about anything until I actually have, like, concrete, here's what's getting ready to happen. And if they're... So wait. They're getting 4 shows? So they got Dynamite, they got Rampage, they got Collision, and now they're going to get Shockwave? Tony can barely handle 3 shows, plus Ring of Honor. Now you're going to give him another show? That sounds like a bad idea. Oh, Jesus Christ. Jeff Jarrett and Hangman Page. Please, can we not? Can we not? The vertical was very smart by Sammy. Oh yeah, I do believe the new finisher, the new updated finisher by Ricochet is so much better. No Mercedes tonight. No Mercedes tonight. No Britt Baker. Again, what happened to Britt Baker? What happened to Britt Baker? She just disappeared. Yeah, hologram. Glitch. Tron's brother. People are telling me Tony wants to cancel Rampage. Well, please. If you're getting Shockwave, yeah, get rid of Rampage, please. That definitely needs to go. What's your thoughts on Swerve being a part of the Hurt Business? Ooh. I kind of like that. Ooh, I really like that. I really like that. We might make that work. We might make that work. People are saying it's a rumor right now. Okay, well, we're not going to be discussing rumors. I need concrete. Here's what we're doing. John Bill II says, we can all agree one thing, AEW Dynamite might have its problems, but it's miles better than SmackDown. No, SmackDown's better than Dynamite. SmackDown's not a great show either, but it's better than Dynamite, that's for sure. Yo, let me get out of here. I almost didn't want to do this live stream review because I'm so down on Dynamite as a show overall. Because it feels like they just can't get anything going and things just don't make any sense. But hopefully things will start getting interesting when, and I say this with sincerity, when Shane McMahon comes in and things will probably start picking up. But until then, just expect things to not make sense and just to be all over the place. But thank you guys for watching. Do all the YouTube things. Like the video, subscribe, and click that bell to catch all my content when it comes out. Follow me on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and donate using PayPal, Patreon, Cash, and Venmo. See you guys on Friday for SmackDown, and I'll catch you guys next time right here in Alyx's World, the place I did was, if it ever will be a safe space for wrestling fans like you. When you're when you're